We'll do enough of these episodes in our lives that I'll figure this out. We're at like, 900 and something episodes, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So eventually I will get there. For democracy. 307 Reacts. I'm Matt. That's Chris.
Yeah.
If you have no idea what I was talking about in the intro, you need to come and hang out on Chris's Twitch on Saturday nights. We live stream a game called Helldivers 2, and it can get pretty wild sometimes.
It's getting insane.
In the ass.
Oh, fuck!
Oh, no.
Oh, another charger. What a pain in the ass,
That
dude.
charger's just running over a stalker. That's hilarious.
And then you got a billion fucking scorpion fucking things.
B-I-N-G-O, 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 and bingo was his name! Oh! Holy shit!
Don't know what Helldivers 2 is? It's basically the movie Starship Troopers. Well, the way we play it, there's two different versions. It's either Starship Troopers or Star Wars, depending on which side of the galaxy you play on. And it gets absolutely off the chain every now and then. It's pretty wild.
When your friendly fire damage is higher than regular damage, it's been a good game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That was most of our session last time. On the screen in front of us, it is Tom MacDonald.
Yeah.
Everybody needs me. We are right back into the thick of trying to catch up with everything. We know you guys have been saying we've missed. We keep up.
Home Free is coming.
We
okay.
see the releases, okay? We're both active on YouTube. We just weren't able to do reactions to them. So we understand we have a slew of things to get through. Yeah. So we're working our way through it. There will be some one-off videos here and there, like our video on Monday or Tuesday or whatever day we decided to do a release. Our Nothing Shameful video. There is a Nixon Rodeo video coming out tomorrow after this one. So there'll be some one-off stuff, but we are going to hit all the big ones, all the hits, all the classics. We're going to get to it. Just bear with us, okay? We can only do one day at a time here. So so anyways, with that said, we are going to check out Everybody Needs Me by Tom MacDonald. I saw a promo for this on his Instagram months ago or something like that. A month ago. I don't know how long it's been out.
It was a while ago.
Feels like it's been forever ago. So excited to get into this one, especially now. Tonight, the night that we're shooting this is actually the political debate between Trump and Kamala Harris. So I'm going to watch that afterwards, and I just feel like this is an appropriate video to watch on a night like tonight. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Anything? You got anything?
Let's spread that democracy.
Let's do it, everybody. Let's get into it. Like, comment, subscribe. That's it. I got to remember to say that now because we're back.
I think the world's gone brain dead. Since when did everybody identify as they them? Cut up all their penises and trade them for some fake breasts. I ain't homophobic, I got gay friends. I just think it's weird that the world's so offended. They tell us fat is beautiful while they taking Ozempic. They wanted to get rich and they started a pandemic. And they really want to win, so they're rigging the elections. Everybody's offended by everything every second. And anytime that I mention that men can never get pregnant, I get aggressively threatened by kids with 17 genders who think a word is a weapon and want to teach me a lesson. And it's crazy, P. Diddy diddling rappers and hitting women on camera. Conviction ain't gonna happen, hit the evidence. Instead of putting him in the slammer cause he's too rich to be canceled, we try to fill a prison cell with the president. Born in Canada, moved
Damn,
to
dude.
the USA.
He just moving. Go figure. I love the line every time I say that a man can't get pregnant. I get the 17. I get all attacked by a kid with 17 genders and blah blah, blah and like for real. Like let's just be real about it. I mean, come on.
Here's the thing. Let me put it to you this way, okay? My name, Chris Booker, okay? Spelled B-U-C-H-E-R, that last name is, okay? It's Butcher without the T.
Or Boucher,
okay?
if without the little umlaut above the E.
That's exactly the thing, though. People will say Boucher, Boucher, Booker, Butcher. I've heard some wild ones, okay? Here's the thing.
I don't care.
Who cares?
I don't care.
Hey,
Yeah,
I know you're addressing me. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
We'll get through this conversation. Everything will be fine. I'm not going to die because you mispronounced my last name.
Do you know how many times I get called Mark in my life?
Oh, God.
I'm just Mark to some people. I've gotten to a point where people know me as Mark. What's up, Mark? And I'm like, hey, how's it going, man? Like, that's who I am to people.
I'll be at work. Thanks for calling Horizon Auto. This is Chris. They go, yeah, Curtis, how you doing today? You know what? don't care.
I'm Curtis
Whatever.
now. Yeah,
Like,
I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
I don't understand.
Just a name. Don't care.
Why people are so upset that like, oh, they misgendered me. Listen, it's fine. You have way more important things to do, like, you know, worry about a job or how you're going to pay your bills or, you know, a multitude of other just wild things that happen in life.
The fact that we've been really close to like civil war a couple times over the last few years or whatever, the last half a decade, whatever it's been. Like maybe you should worry about that more than just like whether or not someone's getting all of your terms correct, right? All the terminology, because there's just too much of that to keep up with anyway. So you should just be accepting of the fact that we're trying to work into that anyways. Like if that's your stance, if that's where you're at, like just be happy that we're trying to figure it out. Okay, we move a little. We just got to take things one step at a time, right?
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
There's so many other more important things going on.
There's just way bigger fish to fry, as far as I'm concerned, anyways. Now again, there's someone's
plenty of people that's their whole
someone's
thing.
Gonna say no, there is not bigger fish to fry. And
let me ask you this. Matthew, my pronouns are now they them.
Oh
okay?
boy.
All right. Now, if you do not refer to me by my pronouns, my bills will not get paid. Has that ever fucking happened?
No.
No.
Not in the history of pronouns.
Ever.
Not in the history of pronouns ever even being pronouns. That doesn't exist. It's just not a thing.
God.
Yeah. See, like you're saying, bigger fish to fry.
Anyway, so the P. Diddy thing, have you kind of caught up with that? Do you know what's going on with that?
Refresh me. What's the P.
So
Diddy thing?
basically, a whole bunch of evidence came forward that Diddy was like basically doing a whole bunch of gay stuff with a whole bunch of other rappers.
There's something with him and Justin Bieber too, wasn't he?
Yeah, like basically almost kind of like extorting or using blackmail or like, hey, if you do this, you know, I'll make sure you get this thing.
Yeah.
Or,
okay.
Like.
Yep.
So
that was like beginning of the year shit, wasn't it? Like somewhere in there.
That's when all that stuff started coming out.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there was, you know, a whole bunch of stuff of him beating up women, like all sorts of crazy shit. But there's plenty of evidence to back it up, like tons.
Sure. Yeah.
Why he isn't in jail yet is beyond me.
That's
what
he was talking about with the beating women and do. Oh, okay.
And then he's like, you know,
yep.
he would rather put a precedent there. Which here's the thing: whether there is or isn't evidence, courts. Here's the wild thing. There's been
lightly here.
I'm gonna make up a number because I don't know exactly what it is, but let's say there were 100 different felony counts, right? They only
39,
really
37.
had evidence, from what I understood. They have evidence for like maybe 12 out of the 100, and even that evidence was kind of. I mean, yeah, there's this thing, but like, is it consequential? Is it like, you know, it's kind of evidence that's in the gray area of like. I mean, technically, yeah, it wasn't illegal, but it's not like I don't know. It's not like without a shadow of a doubt evidence. So that's the wild thing that blows me away. The other thing with like Hillary too, in those emails forever ago, she was supposed to go to trial, and then COVID happened, and then what? It just fucking all up under the rug.
See, this is
this
why
Epstein Island shit.
This is why I always say, like, I think all politicians are corrupt in their own right. I think they all have some weird agenda. Like, they don't really care.
I mean, when you break it down, everybody has an agenda.
Sure,
whether you're a politician or not. So like, everybody's gonna have biases.
Some corrupt agenda, and a lot of times that's being pushed by it's financial, usually pushed by sponsors, things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of politicians are just puppets, man, for corporations and things like that. So
I
don't know, dude. It's a weird. There's a lot of shit going on with it. I don't want to get into the whole.
He brings up a good point though. That double standard, like there is, hands down, like video evidence.
Yeah,
like
that's a good point.
Going down.
I forgot all about that. To be honest with you, it was one of those things that was in the media, and then all of a sudden it wasn't, and then everybody forgot about it. And Tom's like, "Well, hold up,
whoa.
I remember." Like, he's like the one guy that's like, Hello.
Where's the rest of this story going?
Also, got to point out that the whole video is just middle fingers. And
God, I love it.
It's so quintessential Tom MacDonald. Like
so
I love it. My inner 13-year-old
I need
anarchist.
that flagpole, dude.
Dude, the giant one in the front yard. I love that he's all standing there drinking the coffee and you just all look at his neighbor, and then he just flips him off anyways. I have had those mornings. Let's go.
Conviction ain't gonna happen, hit the evidence. Instead of putting him in the slammer cause he's too rich to be canceled, we try to fill a prison cell with the president. Born in Canada, move to the USA, where you're probably a racist if you're not gay. All of my blacks, all of my whites,
God.
All of my gays, all of my bars who swing both ways. If you got a weenie, tatas and pee-pee, say them he, she. Everybody needs me. Wandy doctor. Tell him save me man. Me the C1 rapper. He a chi-chi man. I think the world's got mad. Do black lives still matter, or is trans the new black? Every time I rap, I got them tapping their pants. They having cardiac arrest like they all had the jab. It's weird.
See, it goes back to what I said about it was in the media, and then all of a sudden it just wasn't. He brings up this. Do black lives still matter? Are we even doing that, or have we just?
Are trans the new black?
Or are we just moving on to the next thing?
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
what a fucking line.
Trans lives matter. Now that's like the big thing, right? And all these the pronouns lives matter. Because my son or daughter decided they wanted to identify as a fucking vacuum cleaner today at school, and now you're the asshole for not going along with that.
Here's the crazy thing that a lot of transgender people bring up, right? Because they're like, oh, well, we need to allow kids to do the hormones and like all the. Number one, no, you don't.
No.
Okay. Because like.
No. Your child doesn't understand.
Hey, listen, okay? I knew a guy when he was a kid, he wanted to be a dump truck when he grew up, okay? We're not going to give him a set of tires and tell him, hey, have at it. Be like, no, dude, you can work on a dump truck if you'd like, but, like, you don't, you can't be a dump truck.
We watched Transformers as a kid. We watched vehicles turn into fighting robots and shit. Like, of course a kid wanted to be a dump truck.
Yeah.
He's like, hell yeah, that looks awesome. I want to do that. What he didn't understand was a reproductive system of men and women, and how all that shit works, and how testosterone and estrogen affect your growth hormones and things like. It's like he didn't understand any of that. So someone shouldn't be making those choices for him if he's not able to understand it in the first place, right?
And then he ended up becoming a sponsored skater in the X Games. So that worked out way better than a dump truck.
And you know what? The X Games accepts men and women into those events. So
crazy.
It doesn't matter what he
and
decided
everything
to be
in
anyways.
between, as far as I'm concerned.
They have to. They're not allowed not to, because then here comes the protesters.
But yeah, that's such a wild thing. How it seems like every year there's a new, Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, whatever. Like the big thing I hear coming from the trans community is like, oh well, if we don't allow kids to do this, they're gonna kill themselves, and we've seen this, and blah 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 blah. And Jordan Peterson once again brought up a fantastic point. He goes, listen, a lot of people who have identity crises, whether they think they're the wrong gender or they think that, they don't necessarily believe themselves to be human, or like whatever the case may be. He said usually that's a symptom, not necessarily the root problem. He said a lot of these people have untreated ADHD, anxiety, and depression. And like, what's the biggest thing out of people who end up, offing themselves? It's anxiety and depression. Those are the two biggest ones.
Yep.
So like, it's not necessarily because they're trans that they're more likely to kill themselves. It's more than likely because they have untreated anxiety and depression.
Yep.
And like, sure, you know what? Maybe they'll be treated and they decide they still want to be trans. That's fine, okay? But like, you can't use that as a talking point of, well, they didn't allow me to be myself, so...
It's a lot of that weird...
And it's always your choice.
A lot of that weird scapegoat shit with things like that, where it's like, there's oftentimes more to it, way more to it. It's a much deeper rooted issue, like you were saying, some past trauma or something like that this stems from. That's not... And everyone's so focused about the surface issue, like what's happening right now, right on the surface, what's at face value, and it's like that's rarely the case.
Yeah,
that's usually, I would say like 1% of the time that's the case. Most every time it's like, something has happened with this person.
Like I have a lot of things that like people think are weird. Like I have a hard time like keeping in contact with people if I know I'm not going to see them. Like my mom lives clear on the other side of the country, and like a lot of people, I call my mom once a week, or I call my mom like every day. I talk to my mom maybe once every 2 or 3 months, and it's because she's just not there in front of me, and that's something that I've been trying to work on over the past year or two, and it's really tough. And and a lot of it isn't because it's not because I don't care, but it's because as a kid I had these things happen where people came and gone from my life. And I just kind of realized it was easier to just, when they're not here, they don't exist. And it's a deeper issue than just, he doesn't contact his mom because he doesn't love her. Well, that's not the case at all. There's a different thing that I have to work through.
And again, there's other things too. Like your mom is pretty active on social media, so if something's happening to her, she's probably going to make a post about it or mention it or something like that. Second of all, no news is good news. If she's not calling or you're not calling her, there's no emergency. It's not like it's just life is normal, and that's okay. It's okay to just be living life and knowing that everyone's still alive and everyone's going to work and paying their bills and just living where they live.
Yeah,
you know, like it's never just one thing. Like it's a slew of other things going on around that. So, anyway. Do we back up?
Now
we do.
Let's. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Translab's right here.
I think the world's gone mad. Do black lives still matter, or is trans the new black? Every time I rap, I got them crapping their pants. They having cardiac arrest like they all had the jab. It's weird, take a look at your history. You're yelling free Palestine, look what happened when you freed Britney. Your children ain't gay, they've been watching too much Disney. Eminem fans praying Shady will diss me. Everybody's so triggered that I just keep getting bigger. They want a Morgan Wall in me like Tom MacDonald said. I just wanna know about which rich celebrities kiss kids. The Epstein list is hid from existence. I don't wanna be nobody other than me. I wanna choke the woke until they struggle to breathe. Hollywood is a joke and I'm exposing the creeps. Like Ellen Page and a man if she's squatting to pee. Born in Canada,
God damn.
the USA, where you're probably a racist if you're not gay. All of my blacks, all of my whites. If you on the left, if you on the right, if you got a weenie and or the genie, they, them, he, she. Everybody needs me. All of my straights, all of my gays, all of my guys who swing both ways. If you got a weenie, tatas and peepees, they, them, he, she. Everybody needs me. Don't call me a white boy, I identify as black. My pronouns are the ones you didn't use, so now I'm mad. My hunters go hunting while your hunter's smoking crack. I can't say the R word, so y'all are handicapped. All of my blacks, all of my whites. If you on the left, if you on the right, if you got a weed.
What's funny is that's almost worse.
It's
like that's almost worse.
it's like there's a Trailer Park Boys thing where he's all well, I can't say, he's talking to these kids, right? And he's all, well, I can't say the R word, blah blah blah. And then he goes, so what I can say is this: are you detarded? And one of the kids is like, we still know what you're saying. And he's like, yeah, but I use a different letter, so it's good. It clears.
It's fine. It's clear.
Yeah, it's like that same kind of thing, dude.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Hunter Biden said in his book that he was like hard up for crack and like doing drugs whenever he could. I think I heard a radio thing about that a while back.
Well, not to mention they've found it in his house and on his person.
Yeah. I mean,
once again, another person who isn't in jail for money reasons. So
yeah, well, famous politician,
weird, crazy,
or, famous person, politician, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
A famous rap artist that gets away with beating women and doing that. Yeah, no,
it's wild, bro.
Just throw some bills at my lawyer here, and my lawyer takes care of it. I don't even need to show up in court. He just goes for me. Like I got albums to make, dude.
Insane.
It's crazy. Like how is that?
Fucking
what?
Insane.
How is that a thing? How is that even possible? God.
Anyway,
I didn't have to show up for my last hearing, and I had to fight my ass off to not show up at that hearing. And it was a hearing to sign a piece of paper. And I had to try so hard to get. I was 500 miles away in Idaho. That was the reason I was like, I'm traveling. I can't be there. Luckily, I had a lawyer hired on, and she was like, well, I'm able to stand in for you. I was like, thank God, because I wouldn't be able to be there. And then I'd come back, and I'd have an arrest warrant, and I would go to jail. Yep. So, yeah.
Good time.
It doesn't work like that for other people. They're just like, I just don't have to be there. I just don't do the thing.
Yeah.
I'm famous. I just
don't show up.
I just don't show up. Whatever, dude. Yeah, crazy.
Okay, I think I'm calmed down. I'm ready for more Tom.
All right,
let's
go.
It out.
I can't say the R word, so y'all are handicapped. All of my blacks, all of my whites. If you on the left, if you on the right, if you got a weenie and or the genie, they, them, he, she. Everybody needs me. All of my straights, all of my gays, all of my guys who swing both ways. If you got a weenie, tatas and peepees, they, them, he, she. Everybody needs me. One the doctor. Tell him save me mad. Me to see one rapper. He a chichi man.
Dude.
Wow.
So good, man. So good. I love that Tom just... He says what most of us are thinking, and he just does it. He's just like, yes, I'm going to put this video out.
You know what I really want to see? Tom, if you come across this, I would love to hear you do an interview with Jordan Peterson.
Dude, that would be so good.
So amazing. And just to talk about not even necessarily all the things that's going on in the world, but just like what you've experienced as an independent artist coming up. I know that Jordan Peterson did a section with John Rich from Big and Rich.
Yeah, we have that in our watch later.
It, like, the little bit that I've seen is so amazing. Like, I would love to hear your perspective, and especially with you being from Canada, much like Jordan Peterson is. He's in, I think, the Toronto area. But yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to hear an interview with you two.
That would be a really good one.
Yeah.
You want to talk about generating some views? Holy moly.
Shit.
Yeah, that would skyrocket.
That'd be amazing.
And I would be really interested just to hear what they have to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to hear Jordan Peterson's take on...
kind of questions Jordan would
Yeah,
have.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like his whole take on the situation, and to kind of like delve into Tom's elaborations and things like that. I think that's a really good idea.
And I think this song would answer a question that I think Jordan Peterson would bring about asking, is like, why do you feel the need to put forth such controversial content? And Tom addresses it in this song. Hey, you need me, whether you're on the left or the right, or you're black or you're white or you're trans or they or them or whatever. It's a thing to just kind of make you wake up and look around and being like, yeah, this is all stupid. Like, what are we doing?
Tom is like, he is absolutely not afraid to just get out there and be like, look, what are we doing? Like, does anybody remember this thing? Does anybody remember this thing? Or we moved on for this thing? Oh, this thing got buried somewhere in the media. I guess that's just gone now. We don't worry about that.
I think Chris Cagle at that live show put it beautifully. Over the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of wild things. He goes, if I'm going to be honest with you, I think we're just a little silly.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's like, we're being a little silly.
We're being a little silly out here. Okay. We need to tone it back and just be good to our neighbor. It doesn't matter who they are or what they do.
Yep.
He says we need to focus on building our own household, and when our neighbor falls down, pick them back up.
Yep.
He goes, there's no reason for all this fight and division and over nothing. He goes, we're just being silly. And I think
that was well put.
It was well put.
Yep,
well
for sure.
put.
5 out of 5 from Tom.
5 out of 5.
Again, we've talked about it, but
Grandfathered in, bro.
I don't think he's ever not going to get 5 out of 5. It would take something pretty wild.
Pretty bad.
Even this is pretty wild, and it's just, I think it's awesome.
This video reminds me of, what was that? It was Everybody's an Asshole, or...
People So Stupid?
No. Oh, it was literally, I think the song was called Buttholes or some shit like that.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah.
So fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like,
he does
another great one.
He does a lot of that. He says what a lot of us are thinking in current events.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like standing from the outside and looking in and just going, "What?
What are we doing? Like, just what are we doing?
What is this? What is this?
What's that meme? What is this?
Yeah, like this is politics with the thing, you know, like, yeah. And I like how he doesn't necessarily take a position. Like, obviously we know kind of where he's at politically. You can kind of get that vibe from him just by watching him. But he kind of like me, he sees things on both sides that are kind of like, what are we doing this for? What are we doing this for? Well, don't we have better things to worry about than these stupid little petty bullshit things, you know?
Like, there's this big thing staring you right in the face and just neither side is addressing.
Yeah.
Like,
he does that all the time. He's just like, hello, this thing. Does anyone remember this thing right here? We're just not gonna talk about that because we're moved on to this other weird thing that we shouldn't be worried about right now.
So niche, like nobody cares.
Yep.
Anyway,
5 out of 5.
If you guys enjoyed this political debate as much as we did, be sure to leave a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, click the bell, become part of the notification gang. And let us know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. Let us know if you agree with us or not. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just be friendly to each other, y'all. Don't get silly down there.
Yeah, let's just not be too silly about things, all right?
We'll see y'all next time. Bow.